As a doll collector, I don't find myself being that excited for many new doll releases. However, this limited edition Snow White doll from the live action remake is a doll I have been waiting for, and I am so happy to finally add her to my collection. I loved this movie. I adore this movie, and it is definitely one of my favorite live action Disney adaptations. In the upper corner on the doll's box, there is the Disney logo, and then this whole box is done in this really vibrant blue color with gold foil accents all throughout it. It's very beautiful. And of course, from the movie Disney Snow White limited edition, one of 3,900. And this doll retails for about $150, so definitely quite a lot for what you're getting, and I will get into that later on in the video. But on both sides of the doll's box, there is a window peeking in with these red foil accents that I think add a really nice pop of color, and I think they look really good. The back of the doll's box says, "From the movie Disney Snow White, celebrating the live-action film release of Snow White, this limited edition doll captures our heroine who's brave and true. Revel in the magic of a classic story retold that follows this kind-hearted and noble princess as she escapes from the evil queen who has taken over her kingdom. Snow White reclaims her land with the help of 7 miners and allies along the way. Designed by Disney artists, this doll is sure to be the fairest of treasured keepsakes for fans and collectors alike." And of course, there is a ribbon holding everything together, and a certificate of authenticity and a display stand are included with the doll. So now it is time to undo that ribbon and start to unbox this limited edition Disney Snow White doll. And now that the doll is coming out of the box, I want to point out that in person, this doll and her box are extremely vibrant. She's very colorful. On the bottom of the dust cover is the Snow White logo, as well as the Snow White logo on the top of the dust cover. And here she is without any glare or scuff marks from the dust cover. And again, she is very vibrant and very pretty, but I cannot wait to fully get her out of the box because I can't keep any doll in the box to save my life. So here she is. And I have to say, I love the way that this doll looks. This is so iconic Snow White to me, like the silhouette, the colors, the vibrancy, everything about this just reads Snow White so well, but I do have some issues with this doll that I will get into later on. Before that, though, let's take a closer look at her certificate of authenticity. So from the movie Disney Snow White, Certificate of Authenticity Snow White Collector Doll. This limited edition doll, released in 2025, has been carefully designed by Disney artists to ensure every detail was captured. This collectible doll is sure to be a treasured keepsake for many years to come. And something I noticed is that this little description on her certificate is all in lowercase, even though the Evil Queen's isn't. So that's kind of weird. I don't know if that was done for aesthetic reasons or not, but anyway, this doll does come with one accessory, which is this bucket of apples, and I really love the sculpting on this. It looks really good. It does have some weight to it. It's all plastic, but I do like the level of quality and detail on that piece. And now, getting into Snow herself, I do have some thoughts on this doll. So I have a lot of positives, but I do have also quite a few negatives. So I don't want to come off as super negative. So to start off, I'm going to say I loved this movie, and I love Rachel Zegler, period. I just feel like for $150, this doll can be considered a luxury, and she doesn't really feel like a luxury at times, but I will explain. Before that, though, a huge positive is this doll's face sculpt. I think she looks just like Rachel Zegler in the best way. She has that perfect balance of cartoony as well as being realistic to the actress. Love it. She even has the beauty marks, the rooted lashes, and her hair is one of the negatives. There is a substantial amount of product in her hair, but in my opinion, not enough, because I've had to fix up this doll's hair multiple times because of flyaways and everything. There's not so much still to where she has a helmet head, but there's not enough to keep the style intact. This aspect is more of a quality control complaint and not the design of the doll itself. I think the doll's hair is styled really well, but it just doesn't hold very well. She does have this cute red satin headband on, and again, the quality on mine is not great. Mine is fraying on the edges, and I had to tuck that underneath it so it wouldn't look like low quality. So, moving on to the doll's outfit, again, it's more of a mixed reaction from me. I think there are things that I really love about it and some things that I don't love about it. So the first thing that I think is actually really cool is that she does have this kind of like overcoat that can be removed. So it does have its own Velcro closure, but there is still a piece that is sewn. So if this was tied instead of sewn, I would have undone it and taken it off, but it is sewn, so I'm not going to be removing it. But you do have the option, if you really want to, just snip that little thread and it'll come off. Here is her necklace, which does have a hardware chain, so we love that, but the charm itself is made out of a cheap plastic, and there is no engraving on it with the special words from the movie. So those negatives aside, something I want to say about this doll's outfit is pretty much everything blue and red I love. Yellow is where we're really going to get into my issues, like the big issues. But for the most part, the top half of the doll, love it. I love this white collar. I love the red trim. It adds such a beautiful accent. It's so pretty. And then the construction of these poofy sleeves, absolutely incredible. I love these. I think they look so good. I love all of the different colors, that more like cyan blue trim with the red trim. It's all just so beautiful. I don't know what to call this, but it's very visible on camera that there's this like darker blue sort of like embossment in the fabric that looks really cool and adds some dimension to the look as well. She does have this embroidered top that is connected to the kind of jacket, coat, overskirt thing. So it's all one piece, but she does have actual red lacing to kind of mimic a corset. So I like that. It looks more realistic. I enjoy it. Not the best, but also not the worst that we've seen in recent years. Extending from the poofy shoulder sleeve, she does also have these really nice long sleeves that have a red lining on the inside as well as some red bows on the cuffs as well. Moving on, the doll does have kind of like a bronze buckle in the center of this overskirt, and there are also some rhinestones that are kind of like a cyan crystal blue color, in addition to all of this like embroidery that is done with roses and vines and flowers. I think this is an appropriate amount of embroidery. I like it. I love the way it looks. I wouldn't personally add any more to the front. I think it looks good the way it is. But here is a look at her from the back. None of it continues on to the back, but I think that's okay because I'm not looking at the doll from the back anyway. I am pretty satisfied with the blue part of her dress. Now, the yellow part underneath, this is where it kind of loses me, and I think, wow, that's really all that Disney Store could do. So she has one layer of this like mesh tulle fabric, and then underneath that, she has another yellow layer with that same kind of like embossed design on it that is a little metallic, so I do enjoy that. I just need more. I need more of that yellow, like, meshy tulle. I need that. I think that would elevate this doll a lot more if she just had a more fuller skirt underneath. The sculpt of the shoes is very nice and the red color, but she is supposed to have, I don't know if they're tights or socks, but she is supposed to have some type of white covering over her legs. It's in the movie throughout the whole movie, so I don't know why they didn't include it. Even though you can't see it, it still would have been nice to have that detail there. And I just wanted to show you this quick clip of how, like, stiff those yellow fabrics are. I just wish they were different, or there were more, or they were somewhat better than what they are. And hopefully that's all you needed to know about the Snow White doll, because here she is next to the Evil Queen doll. I do really appreciate the outfit choices that the Disney Store made to give this sort of contrast to show how opposite these characters are, with the Evil Queen wearing all black and Snow White being super vibrant. So I hope I didn't come off too negative because, as I said, I was really, really excited to add this doll to my collection, and I'm still really happy to have her in my collection. I think she looks just like Rachel. She's so pretty. I just wish that the quality was a little bit higher because the price point is pretty high. Let me know what you think of this limited edition Snow White doll in the comments below, and more importantly, don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and remember that you are a goddamn superstar. Peace.